afternoon, St. Louis, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, Silver Springs, Maryland, Little Rock, Arkansas, Salt Lake City, Utah, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Seattle, Washington, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Kansas, Missouri, home of the FILA World Cups matches, soccer matches, and they're going on. And they've been some very good matches, and we had a couple matches in Kansas City, but they're going on all around the country. So maybe we're going to say, welcome to lunch with the Missouri Baptist Chamber of Commerce for June the 27th, 2026. My name is Al Brooks, host, along with Elder Adam Loud. How you doing, Red? Fine. That sound like a winner. I love that strong voice. And Brother Scott, how you doing, sir?
I am too blessed to be distressed.
Well, Scott, I know that you always see that. And how's the family doing?
Oh, they're doing fine. They're doing fine.
Well, that's even better news to hear. So right now, we hope that you hear from Chuck the Door. I'm going to reach out to him today. We can get him involved with us. You know, he's been on a hiatus here for a little while. So we want to thank you for... we are broadcasting live on Ferguson USA, HotTalkRadio.com, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram from beautiful Woodson Terrace in St. Louis County, that's North County, and also St. Louis City and all of Missouri. We want to say thank you for making up for your weekend since 2015. And now, without further ado, we have prayer with Elder Alden Lyles, who's the pastor of the Walnut Farm Baptist Catholic Church, located at 5547 Linden Avenue. That's in St. Louis City, 63120. And we have a lesson and a prayer from Elder Lyles, who is the pastor of the Walnut Farm Baptist Catholic Church, located at 5547 Linden Avenue in Missouri, 63120. And that's what you hear. There will be that other Elder Alden Lyles, pastor of the Walnut Farm Baptist Catholic Church at 5547 Linden Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri. Elder Lyles, welcome back.
Bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a day that we have never seen before. Most of all, we thank you for your wonderful gospel, how that Christ died for our sin, was buried, and rose again. I continue believing to the saving of the soul, continue to make heaven your home, before you sleep and after you sleep. Heavenly Father, we ask you that everyone in Bible land, or the bibliologist land, be happy about this wonderful lesson that's going to go forth today. It's a little different than what you've been going through, but everything changes with us, but they stay the same with God. And help everyone have a wonderful fellowship this afternoon and really take heed to this word in Jesus' most precious name. Amen.
Amen. We thank you for that beautiful prayer, and we thank you for that things will be different as we move forward. Every day is a different day than the day before.
We go on to Revelation, the first chapter of Revelation, and we just read in verse 3.
Verse 3 in Revelation, the last book in the Bible. Okay. Oh, yes.
Verse 3 said, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." Time is at hand.
Amen.
Now, we're going to go to the book, a wonderful book with a man after God's own heart, which is the book of Psalms.
Okay.
And the chapters, the numbers is 37. Psalms 37 number.
Psalm 37, yes, sir. Book of David. Yes, sir. All the wisdom in the world you need. Find it. Psalm someplace. Okay, Reb, I'm ready to go.
The topic of this is blessings to the righteous.
Okay.
Verse 1 said, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness at the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prosper in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers should be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they should inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked should not be. Yea, thou should diligently consider his place, and it should not be. But the meek should inherit the earth, and should delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotted against the just, and gnashing upon him with his teeth. The Lord should laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword should enter into their own heart, and their bowels should be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked should be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance should be forever. They should not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they should be satisfied. But the wicked should perish, and the enemies of the Lord should be as the fat of lambs. They should consume into smoke. Should they consume away? The wicked borrow and pay it not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and give it. For such as be blessed of him should inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him should be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighted in his way. Though he fall, he should not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lending, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked should be cut off. The righteous should inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talk of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps should slide. The wicked watches the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he should exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace, but the transgressions should be destroyed together. The end of the wicked should be cut off, but the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble, and the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He should deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Amen. Now that's a whole lot, which is talking to us today that the saints should be not in stress. Everything in here is talking about everything that's going on in this universe today.
Yes, sir.
People raising all kind of hell. Misery loves company. The devil and his demons. They looking for the harass you, whatever they can do. But God said, don't fret at all, because he got it. God got it, y'all. Believe me, God got it.
Yes, sir.
We got a wonderful God. Don't get caught up with somebody talking yang. All this yang that's going out here. People slandering one another. Homosexual kissing each other. Boys and women and men kissing on each other like they just something. And God rebelled against that. The proper way is male and female, not male, not female. This homosexual thing is of the devil and his demon. And it's been this way since it's been a world, it's been like that. You go back to Genesis, Solomon, and Gomorrah. People wake up. They're out here with their behinds out. They doing everything out here. They naked all on the street, strutting and doing all kind of mannish stuff. Want to be seen instead of be heard. When we were children, God, our parents told us that we ought to be seen and not heard. But the kids today, they don't know nothing about that. They want to be seen and heard too. They want everything. They weaker today and wiser. But they still ain't got no sense. Look at all the hell raising they be raising out here. All over the universe. Amen. Shooting up each other. They got to have curfew on the street. It didn't used to be that way, but it is now. Because the world is waxing worse and worse. I tell y'all, get right with God. Time is winding up. Get saved before it's ever too late. Because if you don't get saved, you're going to bust hell wide open. We got a wonderful God.
And a beautiful God.
And I just beheed y'all. Take heed to this lesson today and memorize it so that you would not fall in the wiles of the devil.
Yes, sir. Because you covered a whole lot in that chapter where that all of the false things that's going on, all of the things that people are misinterpreting. What God is saying, put it in their own light, in their own definitions, and that's not how it should be, And also, like you said, around the world, people just we hearing all stuff that the Bible told us. There be wars and wars.
You're breaking up, Ira.
Okay, let me
break it up a little bit, Ira.
Okay, hold on a second. Take that right away. That's right. Just hold on 1 second here. Okay. You know, the Bible said there'll be wars, rumors of wars. Yes. You better go ahead. Mm-hmm. You better now. We can hear you better. Okay. And so I was saying, you know, as we have read through the Bible, what you just said here, there's all this been defined a long time ago, and everywhere we look now, there's distrust, there's misunderstandings going on, and we just have to keep focused on what the Bible said. Like you said right here, this is just a map to tell us this is what's going on in reality. And if y'all notice something,
You're breaking up, Brother Allen.
This lesson is telling that Satan and his demons going to be destroyed, and all the wicked people that's going along with it. You have to get off your speaker. You're breaking up. All the wicked people, well, the enemy is messing it up. The enemy controls all this technology out here. Y'all need to know that.
That's a fact, but we need you a little clearer, everybody.
But am I clear okay now?
No.
No, you're still on the speaker. You're still on your speaker. Well, I'm going to wait for the speak. No, you get to, put it, come out and speak and then use your regular telephone like normal. Well, I'm going to put the telephone on my ear.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go. Hello? Loud and clear. All right, yeah. But it's a lot of wickedness out here. God wants us to hear him. Yeah. Wow. It's wonderful out here right now for the Lord to take care of us and keep us out of harm's way every day. Amen. People, love the Lord. Please. Love him. And love one another. Stop fighting with each other, harming each other. Stop that. God forbid. Yes. Please, I beg with you, please, stop all this wickedness out here. And we all pray that, because right now, here in St. Louis, babies are getting killed unnecessarily. At an early age, people got these guns out here, and everybody's not selling issues, with talking to each other. They just want to go fight with somebody. That's what they want. They're taking vengeance, and vengeance belongs to the Lord. Yeah. That's why the Lord said, be quick to hear, slow to speak. Well, we need to pray that for not just here, but even around the world. Okay, as we just look at what's going on, no one seems to be want to trust anybody anymore. There's a lack of trust whenever we all do that, Israel. Well, I'm gonna pray right now, Heavenly Father. We thank you for your wonderful gospel. How that Christ died for our sin, was buried, and rose again. And Heavenly Father, we know you can do anything but fail. So we thank you for what you have done, what you're going to do, and what you're still doing. And Heavenly Father, we know everything is in your hand, and we know you got it, and we know sooner or later, all this going to wind up, where we all that need to go to heaven, going to heaven, all that going to hell. And Heavenly Father, we just thank you for continuing to wake us up in this ungodly world, because it's waxing worse and worse. But while we're here, we're going to preach the gospel, tell people how to be saved before it's ever too late, and continue to have love one for another, in another, and to another, until Jesus come back. Amen. Amen. We thank you for that prayer, Elder Lyles. And we thank you for the lesson, because people, just like you said, as Revelation said, read. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can read and then analyze that and come with your own conclusion. But always compare. Don't take one source, the one source that we have found reliable over time has been the Bible. What was this? 2026 years. Okay, the Bible has been foretold before then, and there's nothing.
Amen.
And nothing, and what it was said then, it still holds true. And we talked this morning, okay, about Adam and Eve, that Eve didn't do anything wrong. God didn't give her the message he gave to Adam. When he gave Adam that charge, he wasn't even reality. She was still a part of Adam's body. So you can't blame her. It was all on his. It all fell on the man. The man that sat up and said, "I made a mistake. I was wrong."
Yep.
But anyway, Rev, that's what people don't want to do. Is people don't want to apologize, say, "I made a mistake. I was wrong."
They don't.
And at some point, we all gonna be wrong.
Yes, sir.
But we have to own up to it and say, "Hey, I am sorry. I did not mean to do that."
It don't hurt to apologize.
No, it doesn't. Clean your heart, clean mind, clean heart, and then God can come in. And then God can come in. Well, I want to thank you so much for this beautiful message today about how we can get along, with each other, and work together, no matter where you are. So we want to thank you for joining Lunch with Mr. By Channel Comment on a beautiful Saturday here in St. Louis, and the storms over, rain starting to fall, thunder and lightning, but guess what? We're still here with you. And we just want to say thank you so much, okay, for making us a part of your life since 2015, every Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. We've been able to come talk to you, give you some enlightenment about what's going on, and also, in case you don't miss the whole program today, we come on again tomorrow from 1 to 3, and also Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. in our entire Central Standard Time. But again, said thank you. Please share with a friend. My name is Aaron Folks. That's Elder Aldo Lyles. That's Scott Owen. We said thank you for being a part of your weekend since 2015. Love you. Life is good. Scott, take us out of here.
Amen.
Amen. Chamber Conference for a beautiful Saturday here in St. Louis, and hope it's nice where you are. First of all, okay, we want to start off with prayers. I said prayers because this is no rumor, but down in Venezuela, we have to pray for the country. Not only have they had a major earthquake, but they came over another earthquake, and these earthquakes were like 7.2 with the first one. In about less than a minute, it was followed by a 7.5. And this is according to the Geological Society survey, and at least 250 buildings have been destroyed, not damaged, destroyed. And almost, oh my God, people right now, 1,000, at least has been killed. And we're looking at, matter of fact, as we're looking at that many, over 4,000, 5,000 have been injured so far. And next now we are asking to pray for them. Rescue workers are coming from around the country to get there to help them. But that's been kind of difficult to do because the airport has been damaged also. And that's in Caracas. And so right now, we're going to keep them in our prayers. And also every week we give our report on the measles, and unfortunately, that is still starting to increase. Last week we reported, that we were looking at, saying that hoping that things would go opposite direction, but we got 43 new cases have been reported. And that's not good because right now the record, from last year was 2,288. And right now we're looking at 2,073. And these numbers are the highest since 1991. And what this does, it puts our country in the measles eliminated status. We were clear for measles back until then. So right now, people, please get your children vaccinated. They're out of school right now. They're going to daycares, and please make sure that they're vaccinated because they're around other people. And this is something that we can control. They can get your vaccination, for your measles, from your doctors and your health departments, and normally they're free for these vaccinations. And so right now we ask you to please be aware of that. And also in the church, we ask people to pray all the time. But there's a major war simmering, I should say. In our country here, and it's between the churches right now. The Southern Baptist Convention, which is the largest Protestant denomination in America, is the first step to bar women from preaching out of the pulpit. Almost 3/4 of their delegates voted in favor of this month in Orlando, Florida. And this is not a good thing. Right now, as more women have become leading roles, like even in the Trump administration, he appointed Reverend Paula White, I should say, was named the president created a new office of faith, the faith office, White House faith office. And so now this is something that she's over there, and so men is not exactly crazy about it. But also around the world, as we go fighting this, around the world, across the waters they were put it, and watch Sarah McCollum was installed as the 106th Archbishop of Canterbury to lead the Church of England, the first woman in their 140-year history. That is something to be thought of. And also in this country, Bishop Marianne has led the Episcopal Diocese in Washington State since 2011. But where this is going as well will be something to watch. So please keep your eyes on that. And also, the Vatican rule also, with women, against women also, the Vatican rule this week that only an ordained priest or deacon can give a sermon at Catholic masses. This will reject a request from German bishops to allow sermons by women or other people, other lay people. So this is something that's not what you call good. Also, events that are going on in our country, we're saying that this week, U.S. District Judge Sparkle Sookanan, Sooknanan, struck down the Trump administration program, systematic alien verification for personal entitlements, what they call it SAVE. This is use all of our personal data be sent to the White House, and then they will have that, and then from there they will be at control of that. And so right now, not good, because the Constitution states that the states should control their elections. They should keep their own records and make sure that everything goes well. So having any party, Democrat or Republican, no one controlling our personal record, this is not a good idea. And this has been ruled on, but the Trump administration seem to have changed, seem to be trying to change their rules. But here in Missouri, we found out that our Attorney General, who's the one over our voting records, had already submitted some of our records to the White House after saying he wouldn't provide Missouri voters information to the federal government. And so right now, thank God the courts ruled that it was illegal. So right now, the information that you have should be your information, and you give it to the state or where you vote at. You're being honest about your fact of who you are, and that's how that should be kept that way. And also, something that's taking place that I think we need to talk about briefly. Right now, President Trump has a new plan, for U.S. citizenship. As we get more citizens coming to our country, he ruled that recently about the people from Haiti that could not get in. But this is something that I think they don't talk about that you need to know. Now, when a person wants to apply for citizenship, to get their green cards, to be a green card holder, become a United States citizen, they have to pay significantly more in the application. In the past, they would have to pay $760 to get an application. Now that it's double, that's about $1,300 for a paper application. Now that's mean that you gotta pay that much money when you come here and you don't have money in some cases, but to get that green card, that's what it's gonna cost you. And also, if in fact that your application was rejected, the applicant would have to pay $1,400, $1,500 to appeal, and that was up from $830 for a paper request. So right now, for people coming into our country, the administration is making it harder for people to get in, and we have been known around the world for years as a country of immigrants that we should all be done. And one of the things that we all take pride in is that we can vote. And right now, the federal judge in Boston also blocked the face of executive orders aimed at tighten rules for voting by mail voting. Now, mail voting is something that's been done for years, and also the president himself just voted by mail. But he's in D.C. and he lives in Florida, so he voted by mail. So again, trying to do these things to make it difficult for you to vote. Matter of fact, people who understand voting, everybody in this country has a right to vote, no matter who you are. You have opportunity to come once a year where I don't care what nationality you are or where you came from. If you're a United States citizen, on that day, you are able to vote. That's your right. And so for someone to try and take away that right or confuse you, that is not a good thing to have taking place. Now, also, we come down to something that I had said last night when I was writing up the program, that the ceasefire between Iran and the United States is holding by a thread as negotiations continue. Well, right now, you probably already know that the Iranians still control the Strait of Hormuz. But so anyway, so they found on a ship from Singapore last Thursday, and that it was attempting to go through the straits. Well, that tend to be more than one strike. So the United States had struck back. So now we run back and forth. Now, in the meantime, some good news: 115 ships had passed through before this tit for tat broke out. So there's about another 500 ships still stuck there. So if you got anything that's being shipped from abroad trying to come to this country, it may be coming your way real soon. And so this ceasefire, I'm not sure how it's going to go, how fast it's going to last, but we're going to pray that it holds, because we need to have some settlements here so there can be peace. Now, there are also negotiations going on right now with Israel, Lebanon, and all the countries involved there. So we're praying that everyone can come together and they can sit down what they're doing. But as long as you're talking, peace can become about. So we feel there will be peace. Right now, peace is all around the world. And also, something that you haven't told you probably heard about, Ukraine is now turning the tables over on Russia now, in that they have they have these drones that they have kind of perfected in making these. Since Russia invaded them, that now they can shoot deep into Russian territory, and that they're doing now. So they hit some of Russia's crucial energy products, such as the where the oil, where the energy is coming from, where the gas is being stored, and these are creating more chaos in Russia now. So again, they had the most shots with drone attack this past week, and so Russia's saying, "Oh, now." So right now, this may lead to some kind of peace. And also, when you watch the sport, and the Olympics, not the Olympics coming our way, but in basketball, the Knicks won the championship, but in the WNBA, we have seen that become more of a popular sport, thanks to a young lady, named Caitlin Clark, who came out of Indiana and who did all type of records as a shooter, and now she's in WNBA for I think a second year, and so she's still shooting, still doing what she's supposed to do. Well, she ignited an interest in female basketball, and for the first time in our history, you're seeing more basketball games on TV than ever before. This past week, Caden was unnecessarily foul, hit, she's beat up, make a long story short. And people should understand that in the basketball world for female, she is the person that's making live out the rich. So by hurting her, beating up her, it's not helping the league. So we pray that that's all get along, as Rodney King said. And also, you haven't heard about this, but down in Saratoga, Mississippi, this is just south of Memphis, Tennessee. Protests continued in the shooting of a 1-year-old was killed by the police in an alleged shoplifting on a Walmart parking lot. The shooting took place on the 14th of this month. And so the name of the police officer was released, who said he feared for his life. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating along with the county there. And so far, this little baby was only 1-year-old, Mr. Wiley. I'm calling Mr. Wiley, and was shot. And the police officer fired a couple of shots into that. And so now, today, you're gonna hear more about it because famous attorney Ben Crump will be taking up the case representing the family, and he will be in Saratoga, Florida, Saratoga, Mississippi today. So please for this young mother and her family, and also here in St. Louis this past on Friday with another shooting last night. A young kid was shot in his own house, and he died before he made it to the hospital. So this is to make this so bad. This has been a 26th shooting incident this year. So when people have these guns, you got to know how to use them. And people get mad at what the time we were talking about before. We need to get along and not just go grab your pistol and short shoot. Because this little baby again wasn't messing with nobody. Now he's dead. And now everybody wants to say, I'm sorry. Well, sorry was a little late. They would just said, thank you. Said, please, okay. Look out for each other. And also, we are happy to say that the United States, although they lost their soccer match 32 to Turkey, they will move on to the next round. But they had already qualified for the round of 32, which is a good thing. So right now, there's a chance that we can bring it in. And soccer right now has become more of an exciting thing for our whole country. And we happen to have some of the matches here. And I got to admit, the soccer Vance is out in college, okay, and it is a great pleasure to see that this is taking place. And also, in our, excuse me, in our politics, our president and Vice President J.D. Vance, Vice President Vance got a book out, so he's on a book tour, and he's been making his rounds. And so he was speaking at a conference, okay. Recently, he compared himself to Richard Nixon. And we'll talk about this more later on, but I don't think we can compare President Trump and J.D. Vance to Trump, in terms of joy to Richard Nixon and some of the things that they are doing. But right now, we are not at peace with no one in the world. And right now, tariffs are being raised even more so as our president taking the threat. I want everybody that they disagree with, and this revenge on people that he don't like. It's not good. Every president in my lifetime and always try to bring our country together. When the election takes place, there are no more Democrats, there are no more Republicans, there are no more Independents. We're all one party. And so now there's this divide. And matter of fact, it used to be sort of, but now it's openly being done. Well, the Speaker of the House just came out the other day saying, "I'm going to be your protector." I mean, that's not his job. His job is to pass legislation that can get our country back in the right direction. Make sure that we had the right bills passed. This past week, we had a bill that was desperately needed for affordable housing. And there was a bill that was passed by the House and the Senate with bipartisan support. And normally you have a big press conference, and everybody come down and have goodwill, and the president come in and sign the bill. But President Trump at the last minute said, I'm not going to do that. And so that thing didn't take place. But I had to check my records, okay, but I'm more sure that the bill still can become law in 10 days, whether it sounds or not. Otherwise, because right now he cannot, he cannot, it would be overridden if he vetoed it. There are no majorities in the House and the Senate to override a veto. So we see how this can turn out, but again, it's a lot of bad publicity. And also the mortgage rate is down to 6.49%, a 30-year fixed according to Freddie Mac. And also the Federal Reserve Bank is holding interest rates unchanged as they prepare for a possible rate hike. And this is under the new Federal Reserve Bank President, Kevin Walsh. And so now we're going to see how this is going to turn out. But so far, inflation continues to go up. The prices, for things that we need is continuing going up. So we're going to continue to pray that, that even right now with the new tariffs being imposed, that's not helping our country. Not that our country, the people, everyday people go to the stores and who also be able to enjoy, just going to the store. And also for something you need to understand, so if you're a tech person in the U.S., the OpenAI, the first is launch for the next GPT chat model, which was supposed to be, been announced soon, but on Friday it was announced it was landed the GPT-5.6. This is a new, faster model, and this right now, the technology continues to get better and faster. These things are taking place. But right now, something that we need to all understand and pray for, then here in Venezuela. Prayers for these young people and old people down there. This is something very serious. Here in Missouri, we live on the fault line. And right now, so earthquake will do great things around here. So again, we ask you, as we do every weekend, continue to pray for St. Louis and St. Louis County, where carjacking and murders continue to increase. And this is not a good thing. My name is Howard Folks. Yes, Scott Owens. That was Bishop Elder Lyles. We'll be right back with our very special guest, Mr. William Bill Kovacs. Scott, take it out of here. 7th, 2026. My name is Ira Folks, and we're happy to have one of our favorite guests. And just come on. He always come on at the right time. Mr. Bill Kovacs has worked for the United States Chamber of Commerce for a number of years in a leadership role, and now he's an author, a writer, a publisher, does blogs and all that good stuff. But the best part about it, he's a friend of our show. William Bill Kovacs, how you doing, sir?
Ira, I'm always doing fine. It sounds after I listened to a little bit of your past, the last segment, I'm probably doing better than you are. Well, sounds terrible out there.
Yeah, Bill, I was trying to figure out how I could, set some positive things, okay. But like now, when he's killing little babies are being killed, now that's
sick.
That's sick, okay.
That's sick.
That's sick, and now like down in Mississippi, it's not making the news, okay, like the stuff like it used to, and that's because most of our stations now, the news that we get is being filtered, for lack of a better description. So the freedom of the press that we used to have is not the same way, Bill. So, since you're not in the media yourself, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, you know that I write about this all the time. In Congress, I ask the fundamental question, is it an irrelevant institution or is it a guardian of the public?
You're breaking up, Mr. Bill.
Breaking up?
You're okay.
Yeah.
You're certainly when you have the Speaker of the House arguing that he's a protector of all the members, that certainly shows how irrelevant they've become. They're there to protect us. They're there to run the country. They're there to help the people. They're not there to protect each other.
But Bill, the Speaker of the House, okay, is a speaker for the Democrats and Republicans and Independents.
That's what he's supposed. That's what he's supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah, that's his job. I mean, his job, okay, is not to be, picking and choosing. But when I heard him say that, I said, "This is crazy." But how can you go to work, okay, when you're thinking that the person, just because he's a Democrat or Republican, that he's your enemy?
Well, think about it.
You're done.
Think about it. You've got the institution of Congress, which is virtually abandoned, and I'm using the word abandon, both the Constitution and the American public. So when you have no government there, it's very, very difficult to run a country in a way that helps the people. And that's where we're going. And the unfortunate part about it, again, as I talk about it all the time, is Congress has all the powers. They can straighten this mess out in 5 seconds. They've got the money, the power over appropriations, they've got the power over lawmaking, they've got oversight power. I mean, you name it. They have war-making power. You name it, they could do it. They could stop the war tomorrow. What did they do? They didn't stop it. They could get rid of the deficit tomorrow. What did they do? They add more to the deficit. You have people in this country who are making, you have one person who's making $1 trillion. We've minted more billionaires in the last 6 years than we have in the history of the United States.
And now we got $1 trillion there that got rich off our country.
Well, that's the game. I'm Ira. Look, this is the game. The game is you get into politics, you know where the levers are, and you make money. And I've told this story on this show many times. Years ago, like 30-some years ago, one of the members of Congress who I had represented in a variety of capacities, I was having dinner with him one night, and I said, how is it that you go to Washington and congressmen always make money? And he said to me, it was the most honest thing I ever heard. Well, you've got to understand, Bill, when you're a congressman, everything good happens to you. You get the cheapest price in the car, you get invited into the best deals, your kid gets a scholarship to the best colleges, everything good happens. Okay. So what does that say? They're not there for us. But going back to it, I'd still blame the people because we could vote them all out.
Well, Bill, that's it. Bill, that's the thing. That a matter of fact, I got a call this morning from my Congress, Wesley Bell, who's running, for re-election here, and this is his first term there, and I can say that he does have town hall meetings. He's always in the community, And that's something that what a congressman should be doing, asking for people's opinions, getting their thoughts about what's going on in their communities. Because one of the things now that you just mentioned here is that as you did in your last book, okay, that the Republicans in the House and Senate has giving their powers away. I don't want to use a big word. It is become irrelevant right now. They just go along and get along. And
right.
and then to show how bad things are, this past week we had a bipartisan a bill that dealt with housing. Everybody in this country knows housing is a big issue nowadays. And everybody was proud to say that we had gotten this done. And there was a big press conference that was scheduled to take place. And the president came out and said, "Hey, I'm not going to sign it." And the media signed the clip.
Ira, you have a president who doesn't really believe in the country. He believes in himself. And he believes, and he's okay with people following him as long as they do everything he says. That is not leadership at all. Mm-hmm. And we have a problem. We're going to have 2.5 more years of it. So the only way to solve this problem for the next 2.5 years is to get Congress engaged. Trump's not going to change. It's going to have to be Congress.
Bill, never in my life, okay, and we've been around, for a couple of presidents in our lifetime, okay, and I got involved, in the election process when I was a young man, where I was working with the team. I was a team in those days, and we, started explaining to me about what was going on. And now I've never seen an administration that is so dead set on making our country difficult for everybody to get along with. I just mentioned, you probably didn't hear me say this, Bill, but right now, if you come to this country right now as an immigrant, okay, to get a green card, well, you got to pay a fee to get that green card. Well, that has doubled now. It was $760 to get a green card. Now it's $1,330 to get that same green card.
And some of the work visas are $100,000.
Right. I mean, and so you're paying to get into our country, okay? Well, I don't think previously you had to pay to become part of our country, did they? I mean, you help me understand that.
Well, what's there to understand? The administration doesn't want any. I'll be very honest with you, Ira. It doesn't want any black people, and it doesn't want any brown people. It doesn't want any Mexicans or South Americans. It just doesn't want them. And how the hell we're going to run this country? Have they ever thought about who cleans bathrooms? Who collects garbage? I mean, you want to know what's valuable to society? Picking up garbage.
Bill, tell me about it. And not only that, Bill, who picks the cotton? Who picks the tomatoes and the apple trees, stuff like that? That work is all done. Matter of fact, you go to hotels. I mean, matter of fact, it just amazes me. I know previously, before he became president, the first time around, that Donald Trump used the green card system more than anybody else, because most of his construction projects, he used immigrants. He had them working all in his hotels, everything like this, okay? And so he's taking advantage of the system. Now he don't know nobody else to take advantage of the system.
Well, it's like I got mine. The hell with you.
Right.
I got mine. I'm fine. I'm making, I don't know, what did he make this year? $2 billion? We've never had a president, never, ever, ever, ever. The worst ones you can think of. You go to Richard Nixon or James Buchanan, or you go to any of them. The worst ones you can think of.
Well, Bill,
they never did things just for themselves.
Well, Bill, Richard Nixon was the first one that I saw that got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
There was a lot before that.
I think he got his hand caught in the cookie jar, I said.
Okay.
There was a lot before, but that's when he finally got caught. And then at that point, he gracefully stepped down. After knowing that he didn't have a chance, to have the Senate and the House supporting him, so he resigned. Now, where we stand now in our country, with the House and the Senate right now, when they get in office now, Bill, let's be honest about it, they are fearful of losing that seat.
Yep.
And they don't want anybody to run against them. And what Trump has said, and I just call his name here, that when he's the people that voted against him, and this revenge bill is just something that this country has never seen be so blatant before. And that's what just blows my mind.
Look, the only way you settle it, somebody's got it. I preach this all the time, and I'm tired of preaching it. The Constitution has 3 branches of government, and the primary role of each branch is to limit the power of the other branches. When the Congress of the United States decides it's not going to limit the power of the presidency, the Congress becomes irrelevant and the president becomes the autocrat. That's just where we are. And until Congress decides to do something, it is totally irrelevant as to what is going on. Trump is going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He wants to have a 4th of July. He's going to have a 4th of July party about him. Who the hell cares about him? I mean, the other day when he had that event on the mall, they're saying only a couple thousand people showed up. I mean, nobody even wants to see him anymore. But the Congress is still locked into him.
Yeah, because right now, on TV, most people don't want to watch the news anymore. Because all they're doing is talking about what Trump is, Trump that, and one of the programs that I know you and I followed for years was 60 Minutes on CBS.
Right.
And now they have new ownership there, where they took out Stephen Colbert because he was criticizing the president, and so other talk hosts now. So right now, those in our country, what made us so famous, Bill, was freedom of speech. And now every time we look up, freedom of speech is under attack.
Yeah.
Now we're fortunate enough here that we've been able to speak our minds, tell it like it is, tell some fact that you don't hear no place else. And that's why on this thing with the tariffs, not with the tariffs, but the increase for citizenship fee that's going up. Well, I haven't heard about nobody talk about that before. And that's something that people need to understand. That there's a cost and we who live in this country should feel fortunate that we didn't have to pay all that. But now there's a law out there there's a bill trying to be passed now that we mess with birthrights now.
Well, that's before the Supreme Court, and I'd be surprised if they struck it down.
Well, by the way, Bill, come Monday morning, okay?
We're going to know.
Right. The Supreme Court will be coming up with a lot of new bills.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court's done a lot to protect Trump, too. I mean, they were the ones who gave him absolute immunity for anything he does as president. Absolute immunity. He can go, if he thinks somebody is bad, he can go shoot him, and he's got immunity. I mean, they were insane, too. I criticize Congress because they have the primary role, but the Supreme Court has not been much more helpful.
No, Bill. As a matter of fact, what happens when the Democrats become in power? Matter of fact, that's the thing that the House, that Mr. Johnson was so afraid of, that when they lose power, that they're going to be investigated.
Of course they are.
And they should be.
What do you think's going to happen? Trump started this. This is why it's happening. But it all comes down to, you and I can sit here and we can complain all we want.
Mm-hmm.
Until we decide that we're going to get out there. I mean, I know you're almost as old as me, but, and it's hard some days. But there are, you do your radio show, I do my writing. I mean, everybody has to contribute, but you got to contribute to getting society back to normal. You have a president who wants to rip the society apart for his own personal benefit. He wants to rule as a dictator. You got a Congress that is literally absent, and you got a Supreme Court that wants to make Trump a monarch or something. I don't know what the hell you do other than get rid of the entire, it's the only people you can get rid of. Get rid of the entire United States Congress. They're totally, totally worthless. I want to give you one example. The other day, there's one congressman who I really like, and he's a liberal Democrat. He's from Silicon Valley. And, he says all the right things. And he wants, better equality and more wages. I mean, all the right things for people. And when he went to Congress, he was worth $4 million. 10 years later, he's worth $233 million. How do you do that on $165,000 in income a year?
But Bill,
How do you do it?
Bill, our incomes are frozen so much more than you and I seniors, and they first of all, when you put it right, they have control.
You're breaking up, Ira.
Okay, I say, can you hear me now?
It's still breaking up a little bit.
Okay, let me see if we can get that taken care of. Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay, what I was about to say, you said a few minutes ago, Bill, that when people go to Congress, that they become a new person, okay, because they control the purse.
Right.
And so if anybody anywhere wants to get a bill passed, they got to pay the piper, as they say, to get something done. Am I right?
It's a collection racket, yeah.
Okay. And just like the fees that the congressmen are picking up now is that they won't have to spend no money in their re-elections if they support the president. Am I right?
That's correct.
And it's been proven that if you go against him, you will run somebody against you and cost you a whole lot of money.
Right.
And that you will lose your seat in some cases.
Most cases.
In most cases. So that fear, okay, is something that's really, really powerful. And therefore, the people who are in power are now fearful, Bill. That's something bad for us to have to go through.
So we got a bunch of fearful ninnies in Congress. I mean, that doesn't make me very happy.
No, me neither, Bill. I mean, because the people that we send to Congress, to do our will, and I'm not saying that all the congressmen are like that, but I know very few that are. Matter of fact, one of my favorite congressmen, the late Bill Clay Sr., he was one of the poorest congressmen in D.C. for a number of years, okay? But he was a very active congressman in his district, getting things done. But that was another generation now. So now, some congressmen refuse to have town hall meetings, or go to the public that want to talk about what their needs are, or what their wants are.
And they can get away with it.
They're getting away with it.
So what do we do?
Well,
look, Hungary, the country of Hungary in Eastern Europe had a similar situation with their president, and he was there for 16 years. He ran everything, just like Trump. Ran all the newspapers, bought everything, and they voted him out by 60%. So it's possible, but the people have to decide they're going to organize, and they're not organizing. They're complaining. We're complaining. Everybody's complaining. You got to stop complaining and get out there, because it's every single state in the United States. I mean, you and I haven't even gotten to the really bad problems. What happens when the U.S. with $39 trillion worth of debt starts defaulting? You want to talk about a problem? That's a problem. And these guys just have no idea. They just run the credit card up.
And like I said, running the credit card up, okay, look at what the president is doing as we work at all these vanity projects. One of the things that I didn't want to talk about is the reflection pool in D.C. That
the one that all the vandals destroyed?
Yeah, but
that's the dumbest ass argument I've ever heard in my life.
That's what I said, because that reflection pool has been there for years, okay? And it's been maintained for years. I mean, the water's been clean. It's been, been something that everybody enjoy, and it was very peaceful. And now, okay, the desire to change it, okay, and then give some no bid contracts out. And one of the things that you and I both know, you have a no bid contract. Most times, we have a 3 bids for a reason.
Yeah.
But because just because your friend can do something doesn't mean he can do it right. And the same thing has been taking place all over D.C. I know you up there closer than I am, but I can imagine going around D.C. right now. all the buildings that being defaced, all the things that all the the monuments are being displaced with something totally different and stuff. But the reflection pond, I don't understand how someone can go down there and cut sabotage.
It's almost impossible, Ira.
To get in the water, to go down to the bottom of the pond. I'm not quite sure how deep it is, okay, and to hold your breath that long, okay, to do that without being in a scuba diving suit is impossible.
I don't think it's that deep.
I know, but still, you got to be up on the water to get it done.
Do you know how many hours it would have taken to go, I don't know, 4,000 feet or whatever, and cutting something, and nobody saw it?
Right.
I mean, but we, look, we're all tolerating Trump. We know he's lying, but we tolerate it. We know.
That's the thing, Bill. We become accustomed to him lying and accepting the lie. But the lie, but like I said, he's still going on the past election back in 2000. When he lost.
2000.
Yeah, in 2000. Okay, where even his own vice president said he lost. Even all the courts, 60-something courts said that he lost. His own attorney general said that he lost. But in his mind, okay, he won. But it's amazing, okay, how this shows us how one person thinking could change the whole world in a negative way.
Well, there's some good news in it. One of which is that when he realized that he probably couldn't defeat Iran, he at least backed off.
Right, Iran is won that war, in my opinion.
They've won the war.
They have,
but at least he didn't double down on bombing more and more and more. There's nothing left to bomb.
Well, right now, he's not bombing, but he's still shooting something over there because he's attacking them again now. Because the ship, I think it was three or four ships got attacked.
Was it 3 or 4? I only heard one.
Well, at first it was one, then they said it was 3 or 4. But again, this is the information that we're getting, okay? But see, the verification process is kind of hard to do in this case.
Look, anything you get from the government at this point in time is a lie.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. There's nothing I could ever believe that the government puts out that isn't doctored. There's no standard for truth. Government under law can lie to you. Police can lie to you. Everybody can lie to you. You can't lie to them, but they can lie to you. They lie to us every day, and we sit here and take it.
But see, that's part that gets me, okay? Nowadays, you have so many federal people that if you talk to someone, if they question you, they're gonna force you to get a lawyer just because they accuse you of something.
Right.
I mean, and that's just the fight there is that it's a cost that's gonna cost you, and we're not talking about the regular everyday lawyer that you gotta get. You gotta get a lawyer that knows the lay of the land in Washington D.C. to go to the courts.
Well, that's the point of the whole thing of what they're doing. They're there to just punish people for speaking.
Right.
But we all know what the problems are. What does the country do? Do we go on a work strike for the whole country? Do we get millions of people into the streets to say he's got to resign? I mean, something big is going to have to happen. If the Democrats take over, he will probably be impeached in the first couple of weeks.
Which he knows that.
He knows that. And if they take the Senate too, he might even get convicted. Which you guys got to look. He doesn't know what he's saying. He lives in a world of illusion or delusion. He's not running the government. He's running everything by personal preference. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure any longer that he can stay in the position. I think they've got to move him out.
Well, Bill, right now, okay, he's not a constitutional scholar, so he probably does not know half the Constitution. And that's why the first time he was in, he didn't know the powers that he had. but he was an opportunity. There's some people around like Stephen Miller, some other people, okay, who have certain hatred, okay, that they're allowed to go out and do on their own because because he trusts them, and in trusting them. See, this is the first president, okay, that I ever saw in my lifetime that's on TV every day.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean every day, okay, every day. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. When does he govern?
Well, he barks orders. That's governing for him.
Well, I guess the thing that keep coming to my mind is that come the next election, J.D. Vance will probably have a challenger from Marco Rubio, and so which would be good for the Republicans, and it'd probably be a free for all in the Democrats. And so now what the president is doing, anybody that he thinks may run on the Democratic side, that he's going to attack them right now. Mm-hmm. Try to get them, put them in the mud, or drag their names down.
Right.
This reveal, I guess some countries where you have had these, these dictators come to power. We read about them, but it's hell living through something like that now that you're not used to. Like here in our state of Missouri, the judge blocked the information being sent for them to control the voter in this state. Well, our governor, not our governor, our attorney general here, he already said that he was not going to send out information, to the White House, that he's going to stand all the way up and be tough. Well, we couldn't find out that he had done it secretly without telling anybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Yeah, after
it's truly amazing.
But after having all the press conference, well, no, I will not do that. This is wrong and stuff.
Well, that reminds me of the old joke. How do you know when a politician's lying?
Yeah.
Their mouth is moving.
Well, Bill, right now, in Missouri, I always tell people, all politics are local. All politics are local. Well, right now, one of the saving graces in Missouri is our Constitution. Now, us, if we have a law that we want to change, make a new law, or we want to make some changes, we have, we can have a petition signed. If we want to have a petition, where you can amend the laws, overthrow certain things that put in law, you can have. When you win, by a simple majority, it means that you have won. Well, here in Missouri, we now have we're down one district now. We can't say this totally out. Missouri's own first district in St. Louis is the only one that's blacks, okay, we have leadership. So now what they wanted to do is there'd be a no sales tax. Now, you and I both know they're going to get that money from someplace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they find that the government the state of Missouri is going broke. And so they want to tell us, okay, they're going to put $3,000 back in our pockets.
Who's going to do this? The state?
The state. Because that means they want us to vote to have no sales tax. That's one of the governor's initiatives. Well, you and I both know, okay, that's not. You're still going to be paying, higher taxes someplace else that can be taxed. You're not going to be tax free. Otherwise, the state go broke.
Of course. But all of government's broke, Ira.
I know.
All of it's broke. Do you know how much money you owe to the federal? Do you know what your share of the federal debt is?
No, it keeps changing. It keeps going up. Where we at?
About you owe. I'm going to send you a bill. About $260,000. That's your share. Your wife's got another $260,000. Each of your grandchildren have another 260. Everybody's got 260.
See, Bill, that's the thing.
You have the same debt that Elon Musk has, and he's a trillionaire. So, go figure.
Well, not only can I figure, Bill, but I think one of the things that I want to ask you about that I feel is kind of stupid in my case, just my opinion, okay? In New York, the new mayor supported two candidates that happened to win, and now I think we have at least 215 seats in the House that are Democratic House seats. I want to say 216 or something like that. I know they're slightly in the majority, but now there's this big hoopla that the Democrats are now going to become socialists. Okay, now you and I both know 2 votes in the House won't change nothing, especially if you're freshman. And so now we love to put labels on so we can scare people.
That's right.
And that's right now. The scare tactic right now is going crazy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then right now we have some Democratic leaders who have bought into the conversation, which makes things even worse.
Look, no offense, but if the people of New York City want a socialist, elect one. Yeah. I mean, it's their representatives. Let them elect who they feel comfortable with. What's this? You're going to have a vanilla Republican in there who just goes along with Johnson's protection racket. That's any better? At least the socialists have ideas. The rest of the people don't have ideas. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. I just know that at least the socialists are saying this is where the system is unfair and this is how I'm going to fix it. And the people in the Republican Party sit there and say, we're doing everything Trump wants and we're not thinking about anything.
And also,
which one would you rather have?
Well, and let me put this point in there. It shows that the Democrats, are open to change. About letting other people know. They always have there's a big tent.
What percentage of the black vote went to Trump last election?
I want to say they said 8 to 10%, something like that.
8 to 10%. That's of all black vote just went to Trump. I think it was higher than that.
Well, it may have been higher, okay, but I know at least that much, okay, and now.
And Trump won by 2%, so it's 2.5. So I mean, you know where the margin of victory is.
And right now in his administration, I think he had only one person in the cabinet that's black. And right now he's trying to have a vanilla white, country. And so they're saying if you're black, I don't want you in the house.
Who's the black member?
I think he's in HUD, urban housing.
Oh, okay.
I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. No, I would not give the wrong name, but he's the one that's responsible. Well, not responsible, but the lone black there in the cabinet.
It's really a shame the cabinet under Trump is such a group of nothings.
All multimillionaires.
And they're all making money. Witkoff's son and Trump's son are into a crypto deal, and the Ludnick is into a lot of deals with Trump on types of products that can be sold. They're all making money on it.
See, last time around when Biden's son made a couple $100,000, okay, they hollered bloody murder, okay. He's cheating the country. He should be tarred and feathered, so to speak. And now Trump's son's not even trying to hide what they stealing.
No, they're not.
Even his son-in-law and his daughter, they want to go take over an island someplace.
In Romania.
In Romania, yeah.
No, Albania. It's really incredible how much they think they can get away with.
Right. But right now, I'm super curious, okay, on how many investigations can they have, okay, when they lose the House.
They can have a lot.
Yeah.
But let me tell you how it's all going to end, just so we cut to the end of the story and whoever's listening hears. When they start these investigations, Trump's going to shut down the executive department. He's going to say, we're not giving you any information. You guys are all corrupt. You're all, this is a personal vendetta. I'm giving you nothing. It's just what he's going to do. And the House, no matter, even if they're Democrats, they're going to get nothing. And Trump only has to fight it off for 2 years and he's out of office. He's got immunity from prosecution, so he can violate every law in the entire world and nobody can do anything about it. Yeah. So let's just get to reality. That's the reality. There's not going to be. I mean, I know the Democrats are so excited. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I think they'll try. I really do believe that. But I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get swat from this guy. I don't think they're getting anything from him.
No.
Anything.
No.
And he's just gonna say, you know, this is privilege, this is that. And it's going to be very hard. And the Supreme Court's just going to say, well, he's immune. He's the president. You know, what are we going to do? You know, if he destroys the country, well, that's what he was elected to do. I don't know. Look, it's very frustrating. You have to take the issue to the streets. You have to have a 50 million person across the United States protest. Or you have to stop. You have to have work shutdowns. You have to do something that is dramatic, that says to the Congress, you got to listen to us. And as long as you sit there and say, oh, well, you know, we'll vote you out in 2 years and, you know, you'll go do this, and that, it's not going to help. It's just not going to help. It's not going to help at all. Nobody's...
Bill, one of the things, okay, that I asked myself, whoever becomes president next, you know, if it's a Democrat, how many changes how far can they go? I hate to use the Humpty Dumpty theory here, of putting the country, you know, back on the right path. Like I think what Obama successfully done, what Joe Biden has successfully done, you know, around the world, because now we have no friends.
We have none.
Because even the lady that was from Italy, who was trying to be nice to the United States, you know, she just got blatantly insulted.
Yeah, he does insult everybody. At least he doesn't discriminate against who he insults. He just insults everybody.
But Bill, unfortunately, when he insults somebody, we all insult somebody.
Yeah.
How he's speaking for us.
Well.
And that's the thing that I cannot imagine what the next generation is looking at, because these young kids, something that Rev and I talked about, you know, today, part of the show, was that you know, the Bible talks about, you know, wars, and you're going to hear about the rumors and stuff. Well, we beyond the rumor stage. You said there be rumors of earthquakes. Well, we beyond the earthquakes taking place. We actually no rumors. We got an earthquake. We just had two take place down in Venezuela. And where thousands of people, you know, lost their lives, you know, and probably another 25,000 are injured. And these people, you know, have everything they had is gone. Or they had 250-something buildings that got destroyed. So there's nothing now, okay, for them, you know, for all these people, okay, that just got rid of a dictator, by the way. Where they just went through, you know, where we're trying to go through ourselves. And it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not.
You know, and for us not to, you know, and one thing that the United States was known for years was being friends with the world.
Mm-hmm.
That was our strong suit.
Well, we certainly have told the world where to go.
Well, and also, Bill, you know, this got me the other day. He was saying that, the president was saying that he wanted, you know, import some grain or some stuff with the money that he's taking back from Iran. Well, the farmers and stuff here, that's what their job is, to produce it, and therefore you just sell that we're not going to buy your stuff. I'm bringing it for a foreign country into this country.
Right.
That doesn't. If I was a farmer, anybody that's raising anything, wheat, cotton, vegetables, fruit in the field, whatever, for you to sell, you're gonna take my money, the money that you gave back. See, in the case of this ceasefire, Iran was broke when they went into this whole deal. All they had was supposedly some uranium, but now they got all their money back.
Yeah, I don't know if they got it all back.
Well,
I think they got some of it back.
If they got any of it back, it's not good.
We argue. I mean, I keep on coming back. We argue what's good, what's bad, but we're not doing anything about it.
Well, Bill, I know I had asked what we do, and you mentioned we should protest, but we have done that.
And you vote out every member of Congress. That's something you can do. You can do that in November. Vote every incumbent out, everyone. Get a whole new Congress. Let's see what happens. Get another 50 million people to protest the president and ask him to resign.
So
have a work stoppage. I mean, I don't know. You're going to have to do something dramatic. You're going to have to do something dramatic that's that's legal. And so you're limited as to what you can do, because if you do something that's illegal, they're probably going to kill you.
Well, right now they can do that also, because that's where you have the ICE out there. Matter of fact, for the sake of conversation, though, the ICE office is about not too far from my house. Okay.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. Okay, Bill. Yeah. And I will admit, okay, we used to have a lodge in there that catered to the Hispanic community. Well, anytime you would pass by there, they had some slot machines and stuff. Okay, that facility would be full of people. When you pass by there now, you see one or two cars. And so quietly, they removed the people here from our community, and most of them, we didn't have a lot of crime where I live at.
I keep on saying, I don't know how we're going to keep the country going when we get rid of, 10, 14, 15 million people who are the day workers.
Right. And that's the only thing that keeps this country going.
If you ask me, and I know everybody would disagree here, who's more important, the guy who cleans the bathrooms in an apartment building, or the guy who sits on the top floor giving orders? I tell you, the guy who cleans the bathroom.
Well, the bathroom, I hate to give this analogy on the air, okay, but when that part of our body stops up, okay, everything is autistic in the world. So when the bathroom stops up, you get immediate attention.
Right.
And
immediate attention.
Immediate attention. So it would just make good sense, okay? But again, no one will want to give the plumber, credit, okay, for what he does. But plumber, you're a plumber, okay, you got a lifetime job.
Mm-hmm. But you still have the guy at the top making tens of millions, and you still have the guy at the bottom making 30,000.
You see, Bill, right now, that 1%, 10% that runs the country and the world, they're happy right now because their investments are up. And that's what the president seems to be concerned more about the stock market, what they're doing, and not about the people. Affordable housing, affordable food, affordable gas.
You're breaking up, Ira.
Okay, let's see here.
Who in our government cares about the people? Can you name anybody? Anyone?
Well, other than new elected mayor out here, she's fresh on the job. So, and also I seem to think, I know a couple of mayors that seem to have their head in the right spot here in the community. But those it's a handful.
Okay. Maybe I should re-ask it. Who in the federal government cares about the people?
Now I don't see nobody.
That's the answer. Does anybody care? And what I'm saying to you is nobody cares. There's this huge study out by two professors, I think they're from Northwestern, and they went through who got what in legislation over about a 15-year period of time. They had like 12 or 15,000 studies. And the question they asked is, does the average person ever win? And the answer was, they only win when they want something that's also supported by the billionaires.
Well, Bill, one of the things that I talked about, I think it was last week I mentioned, that there's a committee in the House, okay, who control the dollars, it's the Appropriation Committee. And that each congressman, they go to Washington, D.C., it's their goal to bring on some kind of benefits financially to their districts.
Right.
Well, you get to the chairman of the committee, he got $188 million, or 0.3 or 0.4, something like that. And he was the chairman of the committee. The next person they got on that committee got $185,000. Now, the first Democrat that came in, number 52 on that list, was Mr. Clyburn from out in South Carolina. You know, and he didn't hardly get nothing. For him to be number 52. So what happened to all the other 300, almost 300 some members of the House that didn't get anything for their district?
That's the problem.
Yeah, because you have to look at, you know, who's there, you know, to fight for you.
Well, I mean, if you can find somebody who fights for you, I mean, I just always come back to the same thing. If you really are in a problem and you got to try to reform the country, who do you go to?
Well, Bill, right now
nobody's going to listen to you.
Bill, right now, anybody come up with, you know, want to talk about reforming our country right now will be so beat down, and that they have some very deep pockets. You know, to broadcast their message and push and make their point. It's virtually impossible to do.
Right. It is impossible.
And
I guess we should all give up and go home.
But that's why right now on Ferguson USC HotTalkRadio.com, you know, we're fortunate, okay, that we can have you back yourself. You know, by the way, you don't talk about your blog, but you do some excellent blogs, by the way, on a Monday basis, looking directly at some of the issues that currently are going on. And unfortunately, when you shed the light on them, okay, it doesn't change the person. Trying to make them go in the right direction. They know they're being exposed.
Well, it's one of the reasons I write as an independent, because if you've ever, the few times I've tried to write with the larger publications, the editor's always saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't say that, Trump's going to be upset, you know, and by the time you're done,
right,
you have a vanilla.
Right. And that's where we are right now, you know, like here in St. Louis, one of our TV stations, the NBC affiliate, they are controlled by, that's not true, not NBC, it's an ABC station.
Ellison?
Right. And then we also with Sinclair. You know, and they are both one station. They own two stations in the area now.
Well, that's why nobody watches news anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what to believe.
Right, it's become a propaganda vice.
Yeah. And that's where they keep their government connections. Their propaganda devices.
Right, yeah, you know, and independent resources. Well, we try to, you know, talk about something, it gets stepped on. I guarantee you, Bill, no one talking about the increased fees, okay, for people to get into this country. They become a nationalized United States citizen.
Well, at least Fox News doesn't say it's fair and balanced anymore.
No,
It's about as unbalanced as you can be.
But they looked at it, and they could have been sued, but what difference would it have made? For them to, but to think that they're going to be any different, That's why I said, as we enjoy the freedom that we do have, that most countries do not have. Like in your case, you close to the capital, and you can go down to most of the buildings now, and look around and see what's going on, and not be followed, why are you here? What you doing here? Nothing like that. You know what I mean? I just came to see. And
it's pretty tough to get into a federal building these days, Ira.
Oh yeah, I know, at the airport you got to have a special driver's license, as your former ID, or bring your passport. And see, Bill, that's the thing about this changing the voting system. Whereas in your case, in my case, my wife and your wife, they want them to go get the original birth certificate, put in the vote. And they had their maiden name, and so
right.
Now a lot of people. I know my wife had her wife. I mean, her to go to her, and whether she had the passport, but that would be a hardship for a lot of people. Married people. They go back, upset. They say that they live in a different state someplace, and then go back and get their birth certificate and get all this done before the primaries.
Yeah, but the whole point of what they're doing in Washington, it's not so you can vote or fairness in votes. They don't want you to vote.
They don't want you to vote. They want to. And see, Bill, that's the thing that I hate about the Republican Party now. That they're not trying to help people, get involved and say we want to work with you.
Democrats are.
Hmm?
I'm not sure how much the Democrats are.
Well, since I have a new congressman here, okay, and it's not been around a while, he feels now that he needs to, it's been showing that he's trying to work with us as much as he can. But I never had a congressman that I've had these many town hall meetings, although they're virtual, at least he's been having them, in some cases.
Well, at least he's not afraid to appear before the constituents.
Right. And that's the thing, okay, that people need to understand. I pay the salary. That you get. I pay your vacation for you every year. I'm paying for your health care. Matter of fact, some of them, don't they get lifetime benefits if they've been so many years, Bill?
Yeah. They get very good benefits.
Right. So
they get pensions for life, I think, after 5 years.
Well, I can see now why Congressman Corey Bush will want to get back in to get to qualify for that picture, because she was in 4 years.
Well, she needs to get in for one more.
Right. Well, right now she's running now.
Yeah. Then she wins the jackpot.
Right. So I can see now why she would want to go back, and I wish her luck. Okay. And hopefully you hear her voice or West Bell's voice. I don't know who they both running here on our air.
What's going to happen with this new redistricting in Missouri?
Well, again, let me tell you about our Attorney General. Okay, if people not aware, he's the one that certified the petition. We had the petition drive that said they did not want to have that the district out of in Kansas City being removed. Now they had enough signatures, but the Attorney General, who's the one who certify if you have enough signatures, is refusing to release a report until the day of the election. that's the same Attorney General, okay, that said he wasn't gonna, turn the information over to the federal government. Did that. So now, he's gonna hold the results. And somebody asked, what if you guys had lost after you won? And see, they never, guess what? There's another court fight.
Okay.
But again, that's that. In Missouri, and also what they want to do, what I was about to explain to you, what they're trying to make the changes is that not only that would a majority not be to win, you have to win in so many congressional districts.
Oh Lord.
Bill, I never heard this before in my life. That you had to win. I think we had 7 districts. Now I know they lost the 5th up in Kansas City. That means that wherever we Democrats here in St. Louis, okay.
Which race is this for? Which race is this for? Governor or president?
No. This is on the ballot now.
Oh.
It's a ballot issue they have now, where they want to change the Constitution that said that just a simple majority does not win.
Oh, Lord.
But now that it has to pass in all these districts for it to become law. Now, Bill, that's making it hard, and I never heard it put that way before.
Well, they're coming up with all kinds of weird, strange ideas to make sure you don't vote.
Well, Bill, in my personal opinion, when we had term limitations, you got a congressman that's going to be there now for 8 years. Wait, not congressman, a state rep, going to be there 8 years at the most. So is a state representative. So they know right now that they make a bad bill, okay, they won't be around to deal with the results. And so right now, having term limitation, you got people coming in, and they're all trying to make a name for themselves. And I can just describe you the situation now for them figuring out how to vote in all 8 districts now, and not for anything to become a law.
Well,
if somebody listened to you, that should have been a flag right there.
Yeah. Should have been, but at the end of the day, they don't want you to vote. That's the problem.
And Bill,
they don't want you to vote because you may vote against them, so they don't want you to vote.
Right, Bill, and right now, the word on the street, even the blacks who voted Republican, they're not raising their hands and yes, I did. Okay, that I'm out here, carrying the flag, for the Republicans. I mean, because then you would ask, what have you done for blacks? That's a good question.
Well, the big thing is the black community is not going to have virtually any representation in the South. So you got a whole different world coming up.
Right, and this systematically was done, to take away the power, because down there, like in Tennessee, certain places, blacks were starting to get some traction. And Bill, this goes back to the pre-Civil War days, when they just controlled their ballots down there and made their own laws, and felt that this is what they could do, whatever they want to do. And so I know in most of the South states now, they all got a sheriff someplace that runs there.
The what? I didn't get that.
Have a sheriff. See,
okay.
See, in most counties and stuff, St. Louis is different. We have a sheriff, and we have both here in St. Louis City and the county at the same time. But having said that, the county and the police departments right there work together. But when it comes to us, as constituents, understanding what rules that they have. They don't always explain the rules to us prior to something taking place.
Well, it's your job to read the rules. They're not going to help you, Byra. They don't want to help you.
But Bill, a couple of months ago, we had a meeting out here, and my wife walks our dog, and there a little small sign sitting by the stop sign, small sign about a meeting, okay, that was very important, but that we went to, but it was get away, and if you drive down the street, you wouldn't have missed it. But at least they said we put out on the sign someplace.
Well, that's how government works.
It is. But right now, we had a new mayor coming in, and she seemed to be bringing in new technology. We had a neighborhood watch the other night, and I was impressed, with the things that they're doing. And the improvements they're making in our community, but they need to reach it out, and they explained us some rules and stuff by which the police go when they stopping somebody in your community. Most people don't know why when you get stopped in the community, why you stopping? Nobody told them before.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get stopped, then they explain all these rules to you. Well, you do this, and that.
Well,
and normally that's a charge against you.
Well, look, the black community has helped Trump dig the hole a little bit by voting for him. So
I'm still looking right now for some black stuff. Yeah, I voted for him, but they're quiet. They're getting quieter.
Well, the question is, what are they going to do about it the next time?
Well, that's where this whole question comes in now. Where Republicans right now with Speaker Johnson saying what he's saying, Trump saying what he's saying, and what I mentioned to you about what happened up in New York, where two people socialists end up getting in the house.
Okay. That's what New York wants. Let them vote for him. Who cares?
Right. They're supposed to.
I mean, we don't have it. I don't live in New York. I probably wouldn't have voted for him, but if that's what they want, vote for it.
Right. And what do they get? They get. But not having said that, okay. Now the party is being labeled by Republicans, okay, as being a bunch of socialists.
Yeah. Well. I mean, the Democrats could do the same thing. They could call Trump a dictator. I mean, and make it stick. I mean, but I don't know how far you get with everybody's, issuing a slur against somebody else. But I mean, Trump. Anybody who really stands up to Trump may yell at you, but so what? That he can't really do much.
Well, not to have you arrested.
Well, he can, yeah. But eventually, the grand juries have not even been prosecuting, have not even been indicting these people.
All right, most of they just, said, but again, by that time they spent maybe $50,000 or more that they didn't initially have, to spend to try to defend themselves.
Yeah. That's why you have to do something bigger than just one at a time.
Also, Bill, one of the things I had to get your opinion on, around the country, we got a new guy that's in charge of Homeland Security, with the lady that was removed. There are a lot of these
Pulte.
Yeah, right. Okay. These no, not him. I'm talking about the guy that was over ICE. Where they made some changes there when they were building all these prisons around the country. They were making plans to build, I should say. And now
the big detention centers.
Detention centers, okay. And so now, as it turned out, most of the detention centers now will not be open. When they could be closing.
Well, it's another waste of money. It's there with a reflecting pool and a lot of other things.
Right, and now, okay, we have our Defense Department asking for more money also.
Oh, they only want $80 billion.
Well, that's the bill. Can you write a check for Mike quick?
I know, yeah. It's ridiculous. Look, you know, we fought a war that they said was going to cost under $30 billion, and we're now over $120 billion. So,
and we're still fighting.
And we're still fighting. It's government. Nobody's telling you the truth. They're going to tell you that the war doesn't cost anything, but they somehow need more money. I mean, yeah. But the people have to get involved in this, Ira. I mean, I keep on saying that to you.
You know, Bill, earlier in the program, I talked about the Southern Baptist Convention trying to eliminate women in the pulpit. And you know, and that's something that's going to be that's the largest partisan organization, and they voted 3/4, to go in that direction. I think right now that most organizations and most churches, okay, the backbone are women to make them survive. And I have spoken, had some beautiful pastors, co-pastors, churches that I've gone to that are women pastors, okay, and they have been, pretty good.
5 minutes, Ira.
Okay, thanks, God. And while our churches here are someone to go backwards, over in England over there, those churches are going forward. So we're going in the opposite direction in some cases.
And the point is what?
Well, that there's a little war about to cultivate women in roles in the church. I said.
I have no problems with women in the church. Do you?
So I don't need okay. But right now the Vatican is come down saying that the women, that everybody can conduct a mass, which I used to be Catholic, but that they may be either a ordained pastor, a priest or a deacon, but then they conduct masses and stuff. And so I'm seeing, like in the case of Paula White, Reverend Paula White, the White House made her over faith ministry for the White House. And so I guess some men I got a little picked off, okay, that she's in that position, sounds like. I mean, but it's these subtleties, okay, that we're going through that nobody talks about.
Right.
And then before we know it, it's right on top of us.
But how many things can we talk about? I mean, it's overwhelming today what we talk about.
Well, Bill, when I was preparing for the show, okay, it was like, this is one of the most, I had so many pages, okay, that surprised me when I was printing them out. I said, my God, this is so much, okay, that we're going to talk about is stuff that I had talked about before you got on the air. That stuff going in our country, and Reverend Loud, Elder Loud, in his message also, we were talking about in Psalms 37 about the confusion, okay, and then he started off with in Revelation, the first chapter, 3rd verse, that we should read more and get our facts together.
We should.
And that we're not doing those things.
I was doing this presentation the other day to a book club, and they asked me what was the biggest single problem I had, and it's exactly what we're talking about. Just an abundance of information and an abundance of false information. It's overwhelming how you have to sort through this.
Right. And it's getting worse.
It is getting worse.
Well, right now, the AI and all that stuff now is starting to run the country.
Yeah, well, they certainly run everything that you have a complaint about, and they don't let you talk to a person.
Oh, right, you call someplace, rarely do you get a live person.
And the AI, whether you like it or not, really most of the time can't answer the question.
No, and then they go, then you ask, you waste your time about 3 or 4 questions, then they say, well, I'll pass you on to a representative.
Right.
when
You always, just for all of your viewers, you've got to hit 0 and ask for customer agent.
That's what I do. I can ask your supervisor. Answer. No, I need an agent. I need to talk to the.
Most of, if you do that, they let you through.
Yeah, then that's it. No, talk to the farmer. Said I need to talk to you.
Right.
But Bill, we get down to the point that Scott let us know that we can close the end of the program.
Okay.
Here. But I want to
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank you, Bill, for us having an open discussion about the issues that as we approach the our 250th anniversary in our country. That no one seems to be in the festive mood right now for 4th of July.
No one is. That's a good point.
You know, Bill, this is the first 4th of July. I don't see anybody excited right now about the 4th of July.
No, you're right. That says a lot about the country.
Yes, I saw less enthusiasm this 4th of July, and this is the 25th anniversary. You think they would have more?
Right.
But I hear less about gatherings. I hear less about people getting together. Very little about the 4th of July.
Well, I know you got to go, but I'll give you a call next week, and we can talk about the 4th of July.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Good holiday, brother. Love you.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.